Hey y'all, how you doing? Today is Tuesday, election day. And of course, I'm all about the voting. That's not what the topic is for today, but just want to let you know. I'm all about the voting. You see, I have my Vote for Michelle Hammond shirt on. If I had one for Selena, one for Christy, I'd be wearing all of them. Okay, I wish I could vote for all of you, but you're not in my district, so I can't. But anyway, I wanted to come on here and just share something that I was talking with my son about. I had someone ask me, how do you reach the next generation? That is a profound question. How do you reach the next generation? Well, I can't say for everything on how you reach the next generation, okay? Because I'm not that savvy, right? But I can say this. You reach the next generation as far as their health is concerned by, number one, doing your best to model it. You're not going to follow it all because look, I'm a health coach. And if you saw my video from last night when I was talking about my retreat, I fell and fell hard. Okay. But you get yourself back up. And when they see you getting yourself back up each and every time, it makes a difference. Also, share with them. Share with them why it's important to be healthy. Share with them what's actually happening when they're taking all of these foods, we call them frankenfoods, into their body. So I follow Jamie Oliver, and I don't know if any of you follow Jamie Oliver, but he is a chef out of, I think he's out of Australia, England. I think he's Australia. Anyway, he went into the schools and he tried to revolutionize the way kids eat. Right? Kids were used to eating burgers and hot dogs and spaghetti and, all these things. And he wants to come in there with his fresh fruits and vegetables and, vegan salads. And I mean, not salads, well, vegan salads too, but vegan dishes and all of these delicious foods that they were not used to. He failed and failed miserably on trying to do that. And I think that's where we come in missing the next generation. We come in with all of our preconceived notions that, we should have all of these vegetables on the plate and the kids should just eat it because we say so. No, because they're going to become adults who become rebellious and they won't do it. Trust me, I know. I've done it both ways. So I know. Okay. You got to meet kids where they are. You just have to meet them where they are. If we don't meet them where they are, we are going to miss out, and so will they. My friend was saying, her son just wants to do everything that she doesn't want him to do because he just is a rebellious child. That might be the case, but have we tried to tap into their world? Have we tried to find out the things that they like, what they want to do, and why they want to do these things? Have we figured out that, it might be kind of detrimental for you to want to jump off a cliff with everyone else, but why? Why do you want to jump off a cliff with everyone else? And then let's find alternatives to jumping off of that cliff. When I do my sugar detox, most people think, oh my goodness, I can't do that because I got to give up everything. Well, no, you don't, okay? You got to give up what doesn't benefit you, but there's always a substitute that will benefit you. So if your kid wants to go jump off a cliff, let's find a safe bungee jumping that they can do. This way they get the same exhilarating feeling without all of the danger of the other way of jumping off the cliff, right? Well, my son came to me and he said, Mom, I want to do a sugar detox. Now, if y'all know my child, he lives on pasta and pizza, okay? Pasta and pizza and candy. That's what he lives on. That's what he enjoys. So when he came to me and he said he wanted to do a sugar detox, I was like, but he doesn't just say things just to say them. He says them and he means them. So I'm like, okay, why do you want to do a sugar detox? Because if I were to just say, okay, well, then let's just do a sugar detox, not finding out his why, guess what? That's not going to be a very successful sugar detox, is it? So I wanted to know why. Now, I went and I cleaned up his room, and I probably had an inclination on why he wanted to do a sugar detox. Yeah, no, when you get that candy on October 31st, it does something to you. And I guess this year he was just done. He's like, I don't feel good. Like, I just feel, and that's understandable, because when you eat that much sugar and you eat it on a daily basis, you're going to feel blah. Your liver's going to be like, this is not what we're supposed to be doing. So you got to meet a kid where they are. He wants to do this sugar detox. I am his biggest cheerleader. I am his most supportive supporter. Okay? So if you tell me you want to do a sugar detox, boom, we're all in. However, I'm not going to do the sugar detox like I would do it for an adult, because he would probably crash and burn. Okay? But I'm going to meet him where he is. I'm going to give him those alternatives. And if you're just tuning in, I'm talking about how you can meet a kid right where they are. And my son came to me and said he wanted to do a sugar detox. And I'm like, but I'm going to give him what he needs in the capacity that he can handle it. So it was just like what I was talking about with Jamie Oliver when he came in. And he took away their burgers and took away their hot dogs and took away the spaghetti and, wanted to do all of these fresh, delicious things. That's applaudable. But that's not applicable. The kids didn't want that. They wanted their burgers. They wanted their hot dogs, right? But you just had to find a different way to do it. When I started this path, it was the same deal, right? I started it on my husband because I knew if I started it on the kids, that wasn't going to happen. But I started it on my husband and I didn't tell him. I know that's probably like not good, but I didn't tell him that we were just doing a sugar detox. But he ate all the food and he loved it. And then he noticed he started feeling better. I fixed his favorite foods, but in better ways. So if we want to reach the next generation, whether it's through food, whether it's through electronics, whether it's through sports, whatever it is, we have to meet these kids where they are in what they're doing. If somebody came and rearranged your whole world, would you be thankful? I mean, if your world's a hot mess, maybe, right? But you probably wouldn't be thankful to miss out on those things that are familiar to you, because they bring a sense of security. But when you take away everything that is familiar, the sense of security turns into straight rebellion. So, not to belabor this point, but if you want to reach the next generation, find out, invest, live with, be a part of the next generation. Last but not least, I was at a meeting and I was really sad at this meeting because it was almost like they were bashing the next generation. You know how the generation before tends to not understand the next generation that's coming up and they tend to bash. Well, I was sad because they were bashing the next generation about how, all they care about is electronics and all they care about is themselves and they just are entitled and blah, 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 right? But that is not the case. I have to say, have you really engaged the next generation? Like, have you sat down to hear what they like, to hear their thoughts, their hopes, their dreams, because they have them? Have you done that? If you haven't, then you can't speak against the next generation. These are the people who are going to be taking care of you. Better watch your words. But even more than that, These are the people who are going to be ruling. And so if they're ruling and you want any type of say in what goes on, get into their lives. Have a relationship with them. I teach high school, and I'm just going to tell you, I love the kids I teach. I absolutely love the kids I teach. I love to see their minds engaged. I love to hear their conversations, except for when I'm talking. But I love it because the things that they think of, the things that they create are mind-blowing. Now, I teach speech. My goal with the next generation is to help them get their voices heard. So often, their voices are silenced on social media, in public. Like I went to another meeting. I'm always in a meeting, y'all. Always in a meeting. And at this particular meeting / gathering, when the kids had to come up to speak, the majority, it was difficult to understand what they were saying. And it was difficult to understand what they were saying, probably, and I'm not saying that this is gospel here, but probably because they don't feel like their voice matters. I tell my kids, look, when you speak, speak up. When you're talking to someone, look in their eyes, because your voice matters. It matters just as much as the adult that you're speaking to. And if you don't believe me, go check the book of 1st and 2nd Timothy, because that's all about someone who was young getting their voice heard. All about it. So it's important. Yes, share with them about social media, right? How to get their voices heard on social media, but also share with them how to get their voices heard in just day-to-day conversations. I'm talking to the kids now, you want to get your voice heard with your parents? Find ways of getting into their life, in increasing your relationship with them. It's a two-way street, but as adults, it's up to us to make the first move if they don't. Okay, so hope y'all heard me. Hope it wasn't a soapbox, because it was truly enlightening even for me. With food, when my son said that he wanted to do the sugar detox, even when my husband said he was willing to continue with the sugar detox because the food was good. Man, that's monumental. But that would not have happened had there not been a real relationship for him to feel comfortable enough to come to me and say that. Now, you might want to know why he wanted to do the sugar detox. Well, yeah, he didn't feel so good. But some kids are vain too. And he's like, I don't want this stuff on my face. Cool. We'll do that too. Clear it all up. But yeah, so that's how you reach the next generation. If you have ideas on how to reach the next generation, things that you've done, things that you've seen other people do, please post it below. I would love to know. I will always be a student. There will never come a time when I completely arrive, not even when I'm in glory, okay? Because God is supreme. So I'm always willing to learn. So if you have some ideas, please post them below. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're watching this on the replay, please put #replay. And I look forward to talking with you again soon. Bye.